A budget isn't just a piece of paper telling you that you can't spend any money. It's a financial guide that can act as a stress reliever, bringing order and a sense of control. Let's look at some stats. Almost half of Americans, 40% to be exact, admit that they don't bother setting financial resolutions for the new year. And nearly 7 out of 10 people don't even have a written financial plan at any point during the year. But we're here to tell you why that's a big deal. Your budget is your very own GPS for your finances. It's your ticket to taking control, gaining crystal clear clarity, and having the freedom to chase after your goals. This becomes even more important when you consider the average American household is lugging around a whopping $16,000 in credit card debt. Part of it is the fear around budgeting, but budgeting doesn't have to be about tightening the purse strings. Rather, think of budgeting as clarity to what and where your money is going. We've all been there. Those spontaneous purchases that seem like a great idea in the moment, only to haunt us with regret later. These impulsive purchases are notorious for draining our wallets and leaving us scratching our heads, wondering where all of our money went. Why is a budget so important? Financial worries can be a significant source of stress. The uncertainty of bills, looming debt, and the future can have a heavy burden on mental and physical well-being. Through budgeting, you get to steer your finances. Knowing your income, expenses, and goals lets you make informed decisions confidently. In this video, we're breaking it down and keeping it super simple. We're here to show you how easy budgeting can be. Figure out how your money is moving. It's time to understand what's coming in and what's going out. It's the foundation of a solid budget. Understanding your income is key because it tells you what you've got to work with. We're talking about your take-home pay, the cash that lands in your bank account after federal taxes, Social Security, and employee benefits like healthcare are taken out. Don't forget to add any kind of side hustle money, part-time job earnings, or things like alimony. Once you've got all those details, it's time to add it all up. If you're paid bi-weekly, you get a paycheck every 2 weeks, which means there will be 2 months out of the year where you'll get a third paycheck. So you'll have 26 payment periods. To figure out your monthly take-home, multiply your income by 26, then divide by 12. This spreads those 2 extra payments throughout the year. If you're on the bi-monthly train, which is 24 pay periods, just multiply your income by 2, and this gives you your monthly pay rate. We get it. Crunching numbers might not be the most thrilling activity, but trust us, it's a small investment for the big win in your financial life. Now that you've got your paycheck breakdown, take a close look at your credit card or checking account statements. Scrutinize every expense, whether it's healthcare, clothing, or food. This step can be a real eye-opening as you pinpoint exactly where your money is flowing. But you might discover you're spending less in some areas and perhaps a bit more than you bargained for in others. One helpful tip here is to color code your expenses. Highlight all your shopping expenses in pink or all your dining out and groceries in blue. It could potentially show you your patterns in spending. Next step is to split your expenses into 2 types, fixed and variable. Fixed expenses are the ones that don't typically change or fluctuate too much. These include things like rent, mortgage, utilities, and your car payment. Your student loan and daycare payments fall into this category too. Predictable, planned, and you know exactly what to expect. But variable expenses, like dining out, gas, streaming subscriptions, or clothing hauls from Target, can fluctuate quite a bit. These are also typically expenses you can opt out of spending or reduce if needed. So how do we figure these out? Track your spending over the past 3 months, average it out, and you'll have a clearer view of your monthly variable expenses. Don't forget to think about things like the holiday season, which may have you spending more than you typically would, or other times in a year like graduation or wedding seasons. Now that you've got a solid grasp of your monthly expenses, let's zoom in on the next move. Setting a clear goal. Having a specific goal is key. It becomes your North Star guiding your spending decisions based on your values. Do you want to build an emergency fund? Are you wanting to take the kids on a vacation to Spain? Are you trying to retire early? Having clear goals allows you to prioritize effectively. Is saving more for retirement your top priority? Perhaps you adore your job but don't see yourself working forever. You can get serious about your retirement goals and figure out how much you need to squirrel away to make them a reality. Or maybe your focus is on paying down debt. It's totally understandable. Many want to kick those loans to the curb ASAP. And if credit card debt is in the mix, Now's the perfect time to plan and budget extra payments to tackle those high balances. Now that you've got a goal or two, let's figure out how to structure your money to get there. The budget. At the Wealth Workshop, we believe that the secret to being able to hit and accomplish your money goals is to pay yourself first. Whatever your goal is, treat your savings like a non-negotiable bill, just like you wouldn't wait until the end of the month to pay your mortgage. There's one caveat to this, and it is aggressively paying off high-interest debt. The return on investment and getting out of high-interest debt will almost always be higher. So before you jump into any discretionary spending, set aside some cash for yourself. And to make this easier, we suggest using a budget like the 50-30-20 method. This budgeting rule allows you to make sure you allocate your income wisely, 50% to necessities, 30% to fun stuff, and a solid 20% straight into your savings and investments. Looking at your monthly income, first dedicate at least 20% to building your financial future, whether it's putting it into a savings account or investing. Then you allocate 50% of your pay to your needs, the essentials like rent, utilities, groceries, mostly those fixed expenses. The last 30% is for your wants, whether it's a night out with friends, a fresh haircut, shopping deals, those mostly variable expenses we talked about earlier. The beauty of this method is that it works with percentages, and while it offers you structure, there is some flexibility. It allows your budget to become more realistic. If you live in a higher cost of living area and your needs are actually closer to 55%, then you can dial down your wants to 25% to compensate. Keep your focus. Perhaps the most important part of budgeting is keeping your eyes on the prize. Whether you're diving into investing, tax planning, or budgeting, it's not a set it and forget it deal, and definitely not a once-a-year thing. You want to be in the loop throughout the entire year. While budgeting packs a punch with benefits, it's crucial not to lock yourself into rigidity. Budgets need to flex and adapt to life's curveballs. Unexpected expenses or changes in income shouldn't send your entire budget into a tailspin. Be ready to tweak things while staying true to the real goal. Patience is key. Building financial stability takes time, so don't expect an overnight miracle. If you don't see immediate results, don't give up. Celebrate the small wins and stay committed to those long-term goals. The point is to set targets that you can actually reach. Unrealistic goals often lead to frustration, so tailor your budget to your current income and spending habits, tweaking it gradually as your financial situation improves, and resist the urge to play the comparison game. Everyone's finances are unique. Audit and review. Follow the steps we've mentioned, and then every month, take a moment to review your spending. Did you stick to your budget? Do you need to make any adjustments moving forward, or are things humming along smoothly? Understand that budgets aren't set in stone. They're dynamic documents that should evolve with your life. Make it a habit to review and tweak as needed to stay on track. And don't forget the goal is financial freedom. A budget should help you reach that and not squeeze the life out of you. Thanks so much for watching. Do you have any budgeting tips or tricks that work for you? Feel free to share your challenges too. Someone might just have the advice you need. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful and hit that subscribe button. We'll see you in the next one.